Y'all come on and fall up in here. Get this thing rolling.
Ain't nobody right. Everybody at the one meals in the streets. The weather good. We gonna do what we do anyway. Though.
Yeah, that weather is real nice out there.
Good out there.
Real nice.
Mm.
Let's go and get this thing rolling.
Get it rolling.
Afro Rican, what's happening? We're a little late, but happy Latino Heritage Month. Latin Heritage Month. So we got you, dog. What's happening? It's your boy Colin Park, Sean here with a little paint wet ain't, little seasoning with some reasoning. We back up in here, man. It's been a crazy week. A lot of stuff trending. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we gonna get to it today. We gonna try to cover all of it, all the craziness. And if we miss something, throw it in the chat. We up in there too. 18, what you got going on, brother?
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode possibly might not get seen by a lot. We might get it shut down today.
Let me find the little bleep button.
Yeah.
I gotta find the bleep
We need a
button.
Kurt today. Shout out to my brother Kurt.
Find the bleep button.
Shout out to my brother Flex. Shout out to all my brothers.
Yes, indeed. I want to give a big shout out to Theo Hill. Theo,
he was original soundproof.
Original soundproof homegrown. Earlier this year, man, he had got diagnosed with a certain type of cancer. He went through his treatments, and he is cancer free.
Talk that.
Cancer free. Shout out, Theo. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we got a lot going on this week, man. I don't even know where to start, to be honest.
Start with just start, bro. Go with your news.
Just start with my news.
Yeah,
Okay.
Go with your news, bro.
Let me go on and start with the news, man.
Go with your news.
Oh, man, that sounds good. That always warms my heart. Anyway, let's go on and get with this news, man. Atlanta doing they dirt with this cop city. We talked about it earlier this year. It's still issues going on with the cop city. What happened is the court is refusing to verify the signatures to stop the project. So if you remember, we spoke about this as well. Earlier this year, they said some Atlanta Atlanta residents went ahead and started a petition. They need a certain amount of number of signatures to uphold and go in and try to stop this whole situation. They put so many stipulations on the signatures, but they still were able to get the numbers up. Got it to the court, and the court basically said, we're not going to verify the signatures. And they were trying to do it to get it on the ballot because everything, the voting season is among us. I hope y'all get to them polls. Early voting on already started. But anyway, the court system is now upholding the signatures and saying that they can't verify them. So this is another loophole that the city is doing to try to get this cop city built. How you feel on that?
Keep trying. Y'all know it wasn't gonna be easy.
Yeah.
Keep trying. If y'all don't get it on this ballot, another ballot coming. Keep trying. That's the only thing you can do. You know, if it's got something to do with the people, and it might be on the better side for the people. They're gonna give you a rough time with it. So you know that's the history. Keep trying.
Yes, indeed. Moving on. If y'all remember, Jonathan Majors, the actor that was pretty much blacklisted when he got accused of domestic violence with this, I have to say it, his ex-white girlfriend. Put through the ringer, lost a lot of sponsorships, lost his jobs, basically. His ex is now being arrested because he countersued, and all the evidence pointed that she corroborated and made all this stuff up just to try to, she was mad and basically ruined his brother's career. If you've been following it, immediately after all this stuff had happened, him and Making Good,
Yeah.
I think it's Making Good, she's been right there with him the whole time, you know, standing by him, We need more of that. The brother has proved, the evidence has proved that he didn't do anything wrong. His white ladies are just out doing what white Karens do. How you feel on that, brother?
She was put up to it. He was getting real big. But last year he was in two of the
Creed 3.
One of the two popular movies of the year.
Marvel movie.
Yeah, so
it's endorsed by the Army.
Right. So I
Yeah,
mean, with that being said, hey, just a brother in the cool.
Yep.
They had to let him understand that. You know what I'm saying? So they put up to it. It succeeded, but I guess everybody crawling back to him now, give him his jobs back.
Yep.
Sister seen him. Maybe they had a little friendship before. They taking it somewhere further.
Right.
I ain't seen her since she was ice cream with Big Worm trying to get her ice cream. But anyway, that's I ain't seen her since then. But it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
You silly boy.
I'm just saying. I didn't know. But success happened. Hope best for him.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Keep it pushing, brother. Another major news. Well, I won't say major, but it's interesting. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Flores, first trans NBA referee. What was interesting about this, and I'm going to read a little bit, is even when the way that they worded the article, I had to read it a couple times because they prefer to be addressed as they and their. And when I was reading it, because I'm a grammar person, it was throwing me off. Like, who is the other person? And I was like, hold on, Sean, you gotta, slow down.
Slow down.
For real.
Slow down.
But it's interesting. I wanted to read this one because it stands out because Shay has been refereeing for 2 seasons now. This is their second season, and has done refereeing over 10 years in the WNBA and in the G League. And the reason why I got to make sure I said the reason why as in Shay said that he wanted to say something or basically just come out was to say that he didn't want it to be like a thing. Like, I'm not using the NBA as a trans thing. All I'm doing is saying that I want to show people that we can exist in all forms and it not be an issue without putting a whole lot of light on it. And I'll read this quote real quick, and then you got it. They said, "I'm not using the lead to an advantage in any way. This is just to let young kids know that we can exist. We can be successful in all different ways."
The first transgender cheerleader is cheering for the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, okay.
So let's just to put a little spin on what I'm about to say. It's all about opportunity for these corporations. You know what I'm saying? The NBA and the NFL. It's another way to get more people into the stands, more people to watch.
Yeah.
So they doing it. They might not even like it, but they see the dollars in it. One thing about corporations, they see the dollar.
We're capitalist
country. Yeah, they're gonna do what they got to do. As far as that, I look at it like I look at them participating in track. You know what I'm saying? Or not even that. As long as they ain't doing nothing where it's unequal.
Yeah.
Then go on, do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As long as everything is on up and up. But of course, it's gonna be a little affirmative action in this. You know what I'm saying? Of inclusion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To make sure we cover all bases. That's pretty much what it's coming down to. Now we got transgender referees. I mean,
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, you're right. I just think it's crazy that based off of that, and it shouldn't be an issue as far as, because that's just a job.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so we don't care. Like, everybody is their own individual. They're going to do what they're going to do. You shouldn't be excluded because of who you are.
Right.
We as black people have been dealing with that all our lives.
Right.
But when you start talking about sports and competing, and you're talking about 2 different levels of muscles and bodies and bone density.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, the dude in Carolina probably throwing the lady a little higher than the.
Right.
But
and the women with it.
But we still got men cheerleaders.
They're cheerleaders in
he
college.
just happened to be transgender, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It ain't my business. Call the game right. That's all I have.
Yeah, do that. And like I said, they have been doing it for 10 years. This is actually their second year in the NBA. So nobody threw it up, but caused a fuss. All the people within the NBA knew about it as well. So I guess they just decided to go ahead and just say what they had to say.
So if
get
they,
out there.
you know what I'm saying? Point for they, I guess.
Right.
I guess
Point for they.
Point for they. Moving on.
Oh, goodness. Real quick, I just want to shout out Mike Epps. Him and his wife has a TV show
Absolutely.
on HGTV.
Buying back the block.
Yeah, they buying back the block. He went back to his hometown. He buying up houses,
Absolutely.
and he doing his thing, and giving back, man. That's real. That ain't no for show. That's for real, and you making money in the process. And he putting it on the big stage, so I'm all for that.
Absolutely.
I do want to ask you a personal question, though. If I asked you to give me $100 and I could flip it in like a month, I can get you back $500 in a month. And you give me the $100, month go by, I don't give you the money. 6 months go by, I don't give you the money. Are you gonna introduce me to your friends and family and say, hey, give him $100. He can go ahead and flip it.
I mean, you proven that you didn't prove that you could flip it. I don't think that messes up your credibility with me.
Mm-hmm.
You just proved it in that ad, you can't flip it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I might.
Okay. DJ Envy. That was a setup.
I mean,
it was a setup. DJ Envy's partner. I don't even remember his
this
name.
nigga Brian saving flipping ladies' tax money to the
I don't even remember his name. Something Pena. I don't want to mess up his name. But he got arrested for real estate fraud, Ponzi schemes. And now Envy is on the hot seat with this as well because of his affiliation with this individual that was stealing money from, allegedly stealing money from investors. Envy said that he had absolutely nothing to do with it, although he promoted him, brought him on a show a couple of times, had a couple of seminars with him, and Envy also said that he gave him money, and he has never got any money back. And this was happening since 2017. They recently went up to the radio station, and FBI confiscated some of their Caesar Pena. Thank you, John and Brian. Went up and confiscated some of the computers and information to see how this stuff is going down. What's your take on it?
If people mad because they took a chance and it didn't work, I don't feel sorry for them on that. I feel sorry for if the goal is to shut them down just so they got to move on from that. That's cool. I ain't got no issue with that. But when you go into things like this, you take a chance. You know what I'm saying? When you want somebody to flip money for you, you take a chance. It's just like the dope game. You know what I'm saying? You take a chance. Okay. You're not guaranteed to get this kind of return. Like I said, I know a dude that. Anyway, I don't want to go into all that, but you took a chance. You got. You know what I'm saying? A lot of money being passed. You know what I'm saying? For things that didn't get done. But they on a little scale, if you ask me, bro. And the reason I say that is because you look at what some people paying in rent now. And I know it's on a different level, but to me that's a rip off in itself. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people that could be arrested. You know what I'm saying?
And that's government. I think that's government push.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's on a different scale, but you took a chance and it didn't work. Now, if Envy knew, being that where he is, if he knew this was that, and that's on him. You know what I'm saying? I won't feel sorry for him. You know what I'm saying? But is it a chance he might be innocent? He might be. He might, you know what I'm saying, got caught up in, but it's a lot of names in that. That's the only reason I think this man actually got arrested, because some of the names that's attached to this, like you got Mary J attached to this, like you got, you know, it's a lot of celebrity names. Let me say that attached to this. So everybody was trying to get in on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like I was watching the brother that actually helped. I'm gonna say help brought him down. Tony
the Closer.
Tony the Closer, and Tony the Closer been saying for a while that it's impossible to flip money like that.
And Tony the Closer isn't a real estate investor.
Real estate. He said it's impossible. You know what I'm saying? And the weird part about it, I was watching Button one day, and Button said it. He was talking about when Envy brought it to him. This was way back before that it blew up. Yeah. It just sounded like a Ponzi scheme. You know what I'm saying? So
said you going to jail.
Like you take chances when you get in bed with people that say they flipping money.
And he was also arrested on that before. He did time for. I
mean, and then that's you got to look at that too.
All right.
Did you look at his background before you gave this man $100,000, $200,000? Did you check to see how long he been doing it? Has it worked? Did you talk to anybody that you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of different things you can do.
So let me ask you this, and this is a legal question. Maybe you brought up a good point because I think when people hear investment, they don't understand that it's a risk. So at what? Let's say pay scale, you said it was kind of small, and I don't agree with that because a lot of these people, compared to the government, yes, but just in that in person's perspective, like the people that Tony Closer was having on his show, they were investing like 50 to 100, their life savings, and they would be, and they still, they on the way to work, absolutely. You know what I'm saying, right. Talking to them. And so at what point do you feel like, okay, an investment is a scheme versus, it just didn't work out? Like, at what point? Is it the amount of people you have in there and nobody got a return? Or is it that, okay, if I got 5 people this return, but the other 200
ain't got nothing.
So
you got to look at that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you got to do your research.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could say Tony the Closer is a scammer all day, but ain't nobody knocking at his door.
Not
I'm talking about in the comments here.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody knocking at his door. So I'm pretty sure at this point, all investors and all that, real estate investors on a high level being looked at right now by the feds. So I mean, whoever is doing whatever they doing, it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just big because Envy is on the Breakfast Club, which is looking for a co-host.
Another host.
That's what I understand.
Yeah. Moving on. Last week we spoke about a guy that got out of jail and that passed away or was killed by a cop for speeding, doing 100 miles an hour. They had the video and everything of that nature. Same thing happened this week in Florida with a white woman. She was doing 120, got pulled over, fought the cop. She's still alive. Like we said, and when we spoke about it, we said the object or the purpose is to get home.
Was she getting the best of the cop?
No, and
that's why she's still alive.
That's why she's still alive. But the purpose is whenever, especially when you're in the wrong, just do what you gotta do and get to the house, get home. Okay, but yeah, she fought the cop too.
Yeah, I mean,
and she already had multiple. She done had I think 5 DUIs in the last 2 years or something. So. They know her around there.
Yeah, so I mean,
So yeah, but I just wanted to say that out there, man. Stuff lean different ways with who it is. So man, y'all be cool out there. Just get to the house. Get to the house. What else we got in the news? I don't know. Talk about no Dwight Howard. Say what you want to say about Dwight Howard.
No, go ahead.
Cause I ain't got nothing on Dwight Howard, man. We've been kind of.
He from the 80. Can we put that out?
See that? Then why you got to do that?
He from the 80.
He is from the 80.
Y'all got to eat that.
He went to a Christian academy, so he don't count.
Y'all got to eat that. Y'all got to eat that.
He ain't go to public school, so we don't really mess with them private school kids.
Y'all got to eat that.
We don't mess with them private school kids like that.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all got
to eat that. Man, that's it for the news, though, people. Oh man. All right. Let's get into some of this good. Okay. Let's start off with mental health. This is something we've juggled with a lot. And I say a lot because I think it's used a lot to, I won't say cover up, but it's an excuse in some situations. And these are my personal beliefs.
Yeah, go ahead.
And when I speak my personal beliefs, people tend to want to say you're right or you're wrong. It's my opinion. And so you can feel that I'm right or wrong, but I'm not telling you you're right or wrong. It's my opinion. I think sometimes mental health is used as a blanket to cover up some things that where you just make bad decisions and you do bad things, or you kind of just live in that space and don't want to help yourself. That's just my thought on it. And I'm not saying everybody is like that, but it's just peculiar to me how in recent years, 2 to 3 years, mental health is now a big billboard versus where you had to learn how to deal with your stuff and work it out. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, maybe people on the statement that you made about it's on the billboard, maybe people are starting to get more comfortable to talk about it, the mental health, the state that they might be in. I do kind of agree with you when I say a lot of people use it as an excuse to wild out, point blank about point and period about what happened in Maine. Shout out to, that was a terrible thing that happened to them folks up there in Maine.
Yes, indeed.
But I look at some of that as, 36 massive shootings in the United States this year. So far. We ain't done yet.
Right.
All of them, I'm not gonna sit on all of them as mental health issues. I think some people just like to wild out and just do what they gotta do. In that case, he was in the military though.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people might disagree with what I say, but I feel like the military should be held accountable for these guys that come home and they not really they get out too fast. Mm-hmm. They don't really get
acclimated
to coming back to society. Mm-hmm. Then they come back to society who really don't have nothing for them when they get back. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I talked to a lot of guys that served in the military who had body, aches and pains and can't even get a doctor's appointment, or it's a doctor's appointment way far out at the VA. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A lot goes into when guys get out the military. I got a homeboy that, he got out the way he went in. He totally different than when he came out. Shout out to the homie, the big homie, actually. Mm. I think when you break somebody all the way down and build them to be a straight up killer, mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying, and tell them they doing it for their country, and they go out there and do what they got to do for their country,
right?
And then when they come home, the same country they fought for don't really have enough for them. Like they and it ain't everybody that happened to, but I know I ride by a lot of people and I don't know whose signs is real, I don't know whose is fake,
right? But
a lot of them say I'm a veteran, and I'm pretty sure I done seen a lot of veterans that have passed up their own brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Brothers in arms, whatever you want to say. Because they got it right and they didn't. You know what I'm saying? And that's the you add in the drugs. And now you ain't getting these drugs. Like everything runs out. So a lot of people, they do all they know to do.
Right.
And maybe this guy, I don't know. He did what he knew to do. And then he took his own life. Mm-hmm. When you start looking at these people's backgrounds, man, and when I see they was in the military, man, the first thing I think, man, was he wasn't able to be out here, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't.
Major red flag.
You know what I'm saying? So, in other cases, man, this mental health thing it is real, and some people don't want to get the help because they're afraid of how people gonna look at them. They look at they self, and they embarrassed to go. You know what I'm saying? Mental health is a real thing. Like I said, I do agree with you that, a lot of people, they run to it fast. Even some in government aspects, if they see a case too big, they'll throw mental health on it. Mm-hmm. Mental health on it quick. Mm-hmm. I ain't never seen too many black people get that title of mental health. We just straight up, we poor and we just did some foolishness. You know what I'm saying? It's a sensitive subject. I don't want to, step on nobody's toes with that, even though I really don't care, but I'm gonna be respectful for the people that I know that served, and they came home. It's like some of them. Like I got a cousin, man, who he ended up on disability, man. think he been on that thing since he was about 42. He like 57 now. Waking up in cold sweats off things that he experienced over there in the military. No, he ain't out here walking around with guns and stuff.
Right.
Oh, but he's still accurate with that thing. You know what I'm saying? And if it go down, he know what to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just think before we let a lot of these guys out, man, we got to make sure they ready to come back. Like some guys, you got to be like, hey, man, we gonna have to put you through this program, and I think all of them should do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to make sure when we let you go,
Mm-hmm.
that you still a respectable veteran when you out there. You ain't just out there. You know what I'm saying? You come back, your family, your wife done moved on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Lot go on, man. So it's weird.
Yeah. I agree with you 100% on the military aspect. The military has been very prominent in just training killers, sending them out to fight for the country, quote unquote, and when they get home, they're kind of left to their own vices. Vietnam was probably one of the biggest, most major instances where you saw that happen, and you see not even just the soldiers, even racially. You know, black guys come home, GI Bill wasn't available for them, but the other ones got it. You get here, all you know is the kill, you waking up and, you know, the bullets and living in the hole for months, you know, just waking up with your gun in your hand ready to go. You don't just snap out of that when you get into civilization. And so, yes, there needs to be a program when vets come home to kind of reassimilate yourself to society and to civilization. I also know a couple of vets, and I hear the struggle at the VA. I hear the issues that happen within the military that they cover up so much stuff. So not only are you dealing with you know, all types of medicines and just psychology, you're dealing with corruption as well.
Absolutely.
You know, so then when you come home, you want me to just fly right off the top? That's impossible. You know, you got people that can do it, but there are some people that just can't. Everybody is affected differently.
Yeah, they really struggle with that.
Yeah, everybody's affected differently. So when it comes to the military, I'm 100% with, you know, it is mental health. You know, and the military and the government did it. They created these people. I'm not going to say months. They created weapons.
Unfortunate situations.
Yeah, they created it, and then they don't want to do the things to take care of it. That's like if I, you know, go out here and I throw seeds in my grass, but I don't water it, my grass is going to burn. The sun is going to burn those seeds. I can't blame anybody but myself because I didn't do what I needed to do to make sure it was right on the back end. So that's essentially what the government does, and yeah, I agree with you on that with the mental health in the government.
And Brian asked to me a great question. Is coming home from the military similar as coming out of prison? And my answer to that is all depends on how long you probably stayed down.
Yeah,
like some guys come out of prison and they
institutionalized.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the brother who unfortunately lost his life. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know if it's similar, but I know they got some traits that you know what I'm saying that might be there.
Let's see. John said, my father told me that his mom told him he wasn't the same when he came back. He said he was. All these years later, he's still trying to put it together.
Dog, I went away from my mother for 6 months the first time I went to college. Mm-hmm. My mom said that was totally different when I came back, and I was only gone 6 months.
Right.
So imagine somebody, and I wasn't doing what they over there doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I could just imagine. His mother was probably, you know, she done been around your whole life. She know. Mm-hmm. She know what's in you.
Yeah. Yeah, so shout out to the vets, man. Like I said, they out there every day. You ain't going to be able to look at somebody and say, oh, that's a vet. When you get to talk to them and you hear the stuff they had to go through just to get help, it's hard for them.
Yeah.
And they get the bottom of the barrel. Like, Absolutely. They have to fight just to get minimal, you know, medical stuff, man. It's crazy. So shout out to the vets. If you know a vet, man, just holler at them. I appreciate you, bruh, sis. We appreciate you, man. Just do what you got to do to be right. Get good with everybody.
I think I might just say I'm glad you made it back.
That's right.
And I'll probably leave that right there.
Yeah. Well, I like to get in folk business.
Yeah, I ain't doing all that. Go ahead, man. What you got?
Let's move on. We're going to hit the household this time. We're going to hit the household. Do you think our parenting skills has distanced us from our kids? Or do you think your parents' parenting skills has distanced you from your parents?
Now we talking about trauma.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think some of the things that we went through with our parents, because that's just what they thought was best for us, had put a distance in some households with, or just some families, because kids hold on to things that might have been 20 years ago, but you never went back and made that right with that kid. And things like the world has changed, but a lot of us as older people, elders, we haven't changed with the world. So we hold on to things and say things like, well, back when I was coming up, this and all that, but I ain't got to work that hard no more.
Right.
So now what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when we go to work, man, and a lot of integrity and a lot of things that's lacking in these kids. But these kids didn't grow up with a lot of things we did as far as going outside, just messing up outside, just grabbing something, breaking it, fixing it, all that. Everything they do is on computers.
Right.
So when you put them in a situation where they got to use their hands and things like that, they kind of timid towards it because of that.
Yeah.
But I think as far as in the household, we grew up where you could cuss at your kids and it wasn't no problem.
Right.
But these kids, they watching TV and all that. They be like, hold on. So it's wrong for mommy be cussing at me like that? Hey, mommy, let me tell you what I just seen on the internet.
Yeah.
And she might tell you, well, shit, go live with the internet. But, she not addressing the fact that you telling her, like,
right.
or your dad, let me say him too. I don't want to leave him out. That I don't like how you talking to me. Can we figure out something else? A lot of parents, they working. They don't really give their kids a time. They looking at the thought that they having to say, you know what, I can work on that. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't like to be cussed at, but we'll cuss at our kids in a minute.
Right.
And then walk away like, he be all right. My mama cussed at me. Not realizing we passing on
the trauma.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
So yeah, I think parenting needs to be upgraded in a lot of households. I think it definitely needs to be upgraded.
Now, then, where do you think, because we had to? This is one of the things that I always kind of lay out there to kind of talk about our generation versus the generation that's coming up now. I think for us, our parents, and I think every parent says, I want my child to be better off than I was. And I think it gets to a point to where, like, a lot of us ended up better than our parents in certain situations. And I think now the generation that we are, to where the kids are now being raised, like you said, they're not going outside, they're on the internet, things are so readily available for them. Is there something missing because we want to give them more? Because now, our folks weren't getting us $100 shoes. You get you 2 pair of $50 shoes, but now that's just the norm. You gotta pay $150, $200 for these kids now. So I say all that to say, is it that we are giving our kids what we said we want our kids to be better off than us, and then in the return, they're not being as productive or being more giving into the community or just in school and whatever it is that needs to be done?
Well, in a lot of situations, you can't pass nothing to your kids that you don't have. You know what I'm saying? So if you didn't grow up with time with the children, parenting and quality time in a household, that's going to be normal to you when you go to your own household, and you're going to work to give your kids what they want.
Right.
Mama gonna do, daddy gonna do overtime and all that, but you still missing that time in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I think is actually missing from the community or the household that forms into a community. It's time with your kids. Because some parents and kids are strangers. That's why you can have your kid go to school and beat up somebody, and the parent be like, not my baby.
Right.
He ain't been a baby in about 13 years. Yeah, little different. Johnny out there whooping ass.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Different in them streets.
So, and as far as, the teachings, it's all about what I guess you pass to your kids what you into. In this day and age, I don't see, pretty much parents into nothing because they too busy working. They into sleeping. They into searching for love like they kid that's 20 years younger than them. Like, I'm just saying. Like, we just seen the whole the shit made the news about where to go on a date.
That's
like,
terrible.
This is where we are as a society.
It's ridiculous.
So I mean, it's definitely a lot missing because I remember me and my mother didn't grow up. My mother was hard on me because she felt it was just how I needed to be. You know what I'm saying? And so our relationship wasn't that close until I got older. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I had to forgive some things. She had to forgive some things. And I always tell people I missed that time that I didn't have my mother, you know what I'm saying, because I was too busy trying to be me, but instead of just trying to get that unity with my mother. Like the homie will tell you in a minute, he don't understand parents and kids not having a close relationship because he's very close to his mother. He talks to his mother every day. You know what I'm saying? And where I might talk to my mother 4 times a week. You know what I'm saying? And he looked at that kind of weird. I'm like, I might tell him to talk to this lady. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people talk to their parents, if not just for 5 minutes, every day.
I'm going to read Orlando's and then I'm going to say something. Orlando said too many parents are friends with their kids, and that's where the disparity lies.
What's wrong with being friends with your kids as long as you draw a line?
I think that's where I think the line is blurred in a lot of situations. And I can't speak on, everybody, but like you were saying, the whole dating thing that was out there. I remember back a couple months or maybe last summer, you had actually one a couple months ago where the lady said her son, this is her date, and she had on like her titties was out, tight dress, this and that, and the son was maybe like 13, 14. So, and then you also had where a woman had taken a picture with her daughter, and she had on another tight kind of, I want to say hoochie mama outfit, and she had her daughter in the matching outfit, and the girl was probably like 3-4 years old. You know what I mean? So I think that's where he talks about the friend aspect. And so even with what you were saying, like me and my dad was disciplinary in our house. So I didn't like my dad growing up. And like you said, until I got older, when he was able to tell us why he did what he did, I was able to understand it. And even when he would do stuff that would come out that he was wrong, he would come and apologize to us.
Yeah, I want to apologize tomorrow.
Okay. But we still, I didn't like my dad. And so for me, when you were saying, as a kid, do I need to focus on the relationship with my parents? That's kind of hard for me because I'm still trying to figure out who I am. I'm still trying to figure out
But a parent definitely needs to deal with a kid.
It is. It's the parent's responsibility.
That's supposed to be the first person you trust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But I can't look at it and be like, I want to hang out with my dad more. And of course, and my brother, if you talk to my brother, he'll tell you he wished my dad came to more of his games. He wished my dad did, but my dad was working 2 jobs. My dad was doing
trying to provide. And that's based on what he had to do because of some things in society. Some a lot of entities could have went in there. You know what I'm saying? But I just look at a lot of people. They shit on Florida Evans. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole running thing. She kept them in the ghetto and all that. All that. She kept them as a family, though. And that's the missing part of a lot of households. It's a lot of money in a lot of households, but ain't no family there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
And that's one thing she did keep. She kept them a family. You know what I'm saying? Which helps the community. You know what I'm saying? So I look at, man, it just... As far as going back to the root we was talking about, I do think the way we were raised, in a lot of ways, it needs to be an upgrade. Like, kids are a lot smarter than we were in certain things. Common sense, they might lack. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to this computer and all that, your kids might know more than you. Some parents have to come off the pedestal as a parent sometimes and become a student to their child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's hard to do. It's a thing I watch on the dummy thing all the time, the internet. And it's talk about how parents apologize to their kids. And the guy was like, so what's that thing you talk about? He said, you want this PlayStation 5 or something? And he was like, yeah. He said, you want it? Yeah. He said, 'cause I got it in the cart right now. If you don't want it, I'll take it out. He said, that's how you apologize. Instead of just saying,
I apologize, or I'm sorry for such and such.
But
Yeah.
that's real though.
I say women do that.
No, men do it too. I used to do it in my
really?
kids. Absolutely.
I just say I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? But I would, you know what I'm saying? You know me, I say my bad. Man, I'm like, my bad.
My bad.
But
dap you up and keep walking.
You know what I'm saying? Keep going. But we do have to look at ourselves as parents and understand that what we thought was cool back then, or it was acceptable. Kids ain't going for it now. They're a little, and actually they're a little standoffish now. Kids will be like, nah, we need to figure something else out. Clean, clang, bing, bang, whatever you gonna do. It actually shows that you're a weaker person, that you ain't able to actually have a conversation with your kids. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna yell at them and then threaten to take something away from them, some nonsense like that, instead of just having a conversation with them. Do I still think whooping should happen? Absolutely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think more conversations should happen before these whoopings start.
I agree with that. And you know who could tell us better than anybody is a teacher. I talk to teachers. I have friends that are teachers, and they say the problems stem directly from the parents. They said they'll call in a parent to come in and talk about what's going on in the classroom, educational things, this or that nature. No response. Take their cell phone, they there before the cell phone get in the desk.
Because they paying for that.
You know. So at some point, like you said, conversations have to be had, but also I think, and I will say our generation a lot more is more focused on money than even our parents. I think our parents were focused on survival. I think our generation is more about status. You got it. More about status as opposed to survival. And I think that's where a lot of the disconnect comes to, where if you got your iPad or your phone, you good.
But the difference in our generation and the one before us, they still had love. They still focused on love. Mm-hmm. Especially if you had two parents in the house. You seen your parents kiss. Mm-hmm. You seen your daddy grab your mama ass. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You ain't see her do too much. She might have been trying to act like she
just laughed.
Quit that. You know what I'm saying? Knowing damn well what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't see no kind of affection now. Like, it's funny now. Well, it ain't funny, but when you see like I seen Dwayne Wade go into the Hall of Fame, and he brought his dad up there, and everybody looked at that like there was such a great thing, and it was, but it was sad at the same time, because how many dads should have been on that stage with their sons who was out there in that driveway at that park shooting that ball, you know, getting your broke ass rebounds because you can't shoot no jumper till you got it. You know what I'm saying? Dads don't get enough. They don't get as many pat on the backs as they do get slapped in the head. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of great dads, man. I know a lot. So I can't, that don't sit. I'm a great dad myself. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of that, but I don't see, and this problem I got with men, I'm kind of going off all over the place. We'll sit online and talk about what women need to do with dress and all that. You know what I'm saying? What we need to take them to eat, why we need to take them here to eat. But some of their parenting skills need to be brought to the table too. Some kids need to go to their father. Yeah. So they can get what they need, versus we let this white man get in our business, and just because she got a heartbeat, she can keep kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it come down to in a lot of cases. As long as she breathing, she can work at McDonald's. Yeah. Knowing damn well she can't afford these 3 kids, but she can keep them because he gonna dig in your pocket, instead of y'all looking at it in the aspect of love for the kids, and just pass their kids to who can take care of them the best.
Right. It's funny you said that, because as you were speaking, I thought about a lot of people that I see, men, speak online about women and every other thing. And then a birthday come around and you be like, oh, you got a kid?
I mean, that's...
I didn't know you had a kid.
What up, though, Hub?
And so, how do we hold each other accountable for that? Like, and we say, okay, well, what you did with your kid? Or when was the last time you and your kid just did something on your own, as opposed to just going out of town? Or, you know, when was it you really... And I know a lot of fathers that literally they base their schedule based off of their kids' activities.
Absolutely.
So they out there.
Yo, I can't get a haircut on certain days.
You know what I'm saying? We know guys that their life is predicated based off of what their children do. So they are out there. But it's also a lot of them out there that can point the finger at a lot of other things that they kind of slide off to the side and you hear nothing about their kids.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't speak upon my kids really a lot because I love them that much, and I wouldn't want nobody to say nothing crazy or think they could weaponize, and say something about one of my children. If you tell me you got kids and we not in that space, I respect it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we're not in that space where I should be even commenting on your kids, I shouldn't really hear about it. Like, if you want to talk to me about them, that's on you. But I respect if you don't, because that might not be the space we in.
Right.
There's a lot of things I might talk about with. Well,
so it's an intimacy thing.
Yeah.
Like a comfort.
To me, it's just the relationship y'all might have.
Right.
What level of intimacy that y'all on? So that's even with the fellas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know brothers with kids, they don't mention their kids at all. You know what I'm saying? They might say, "Man, I gotta do something with the kids," and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But some guys, women, some people, just parents, period. Their kids are a very sensitive place.
Yeah.
So they don't want you, giving your opinion about something you should have just been listening to. They might have came to you to vent, and you didn't give an opinion. That's you didn't call their kid a loser in so many words.
We outside. We outside. Dang, bro, what I just said you should have got him the sixes instead of the jump man.
So I don't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like Brian was saying, it's not a manual. You know what I'm saying, to being a parent. It's not. But it is notes that you can take to adjust what you're doing. And
all kids ain't the same. Because like you said, the way you and your mom's relationship was, your brothers might have a different perspective.
Oh, yeah. My mother and my brother is way different than me and my
exactly.
mother. We all closer now, but yeah, they definitely different than me.
Yep, same with us. Yeah. So I get it, man. I get it.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. This is a good one. When you sent me to this one, when you sent me this topic, I was like, and then I read it again. I was like, yeah, okay.
What you got?
When we talk about where we should place our energy, should we put our energy into the culture or should we put our energy into the community?
I did see that was like 2 weeks ago too.
It was good though, because if you send your stuff, I'd be asleep, so I just whatever, and then I look at it later on. I'm like, okay.
I mean, where should the energy be? Should we be trying to build up a community, or should we worry about the culture first and then go to the community?
What's culture? Let's define culture.
And I don't know if we can.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can in a form of
to our ideology.
But all it takes is a bunch of people to go with it.
To go with it.
And somebody come with some money and it's on its way.
So let's look at, let's say, culture. The word woke was our part of our culture.
Not us. That's the generation after us. We were conscious people. We conscious people.
Conscious.
Yeah.
We're not. But it was culture, right? But now it's in the government and it's taking on a whole nother monster.
It's taking on that.
So I don't even want to try to protect that. Like, y'all took it and did something completely different with it.
Not to cut you off, I agree with you, Hub. I kind of do. It started with the community and then the culture recognized a small portion.
That's a great.
I kind of do agree with that because you look at your neighborhood, man. Like, if the community is one way, like let's say you move in a neighborhood and you this way, right? But the neighborhood is different. You either gonna conform or you gonna rebel. But if you rebel,
get ready for that heat.
You know what I'm saying? And especially if you rebel against something that really, hey man, you can't change it. Like the HOA. HOA is a culture,
right?
They set it to what it's gonna be. Where is it a community? Well, no, it's a culture in the community. It's a culture in the community because they let you know what you can do in and out these these subdivisions, whatever.
Right.
And you either abide by it or you don't.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that's more of a community.
Okay.
More than culture, I would say, because the community, like you said, there are rules to it, but also the things that you do are implemented and they go towards the community. My culture is me walking out and saying, I'm going to wear my shirt this way. and I'm gonna walk this way. So you're gonna recognize me because I wore my shirt this way and I walk this way. That's my culture. Versus me going out and picking up the trash or keeping my grass cut or picking up the doo-doo when I walk the dog. That's the community that I have to cultivate. So that's why I think there's a small, a thin line. It's a thin line.
Like, but where should our energy be as far as black people? Let's do it like that.
Community. I say community because our culture. Let's look at hip hop. That's something that we created. Let's look at jazz. That's something we recreated personally. Our ancestors. That was our own thing. Who makes the most money off of it? Not us.
Them people.
Right. Not us. That's culture. Okay. So if I concentrate on that, they still eating off of it.
So we need to build the building.
Right.
And then put the furniture in afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that. So, yeah, I got to go with community on this one. I got to go with the community. What Brian in here talking about? I ain't finna do all that.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and let's wrap it up.
All right.
What else you got? You got one more?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to talk about, but I got something on my chest I need to get off.
I do as well. Go ahead.
Okay. The Braves lost in the first round of the playoffs. The Raiders lost to a undrafted quarterback, D2. He looked like Joe Montana out there. And my Hawks are now 0-2. They lost to the Knicks last night. Charlotte Hornets on their first night. We are going to play the Detroit Lions on Monday night.
Absolutely.
We will be in the house.
Somebody's house.
Yeah. Drinking and smoking and watching the game.
And carrying on.
I am going to warn you now. I am sensitive right now, okay? So I'm gonna give you fair warning. I might lose my cool.
That's between you and your cool. I ain't got nothing to do with me.
You gonna have all that do with it, okay? So I just want to say sports ain't really been good to me right now. So I'm just a little sensitive, but yeah, we definitely gonna get up and get on that game on Monday, brother.
Oh yeah, we definitely do watching that game.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. What you got for them?
Okay, on another note, let's not to keep bringing up what happened with the main situation, but we really need to actually take this gun control thing very serious. These gun laws, you know, we can say all day that it was a mental issue with the man that killed these people, but the ability to get these guns is way too easy. These assault rifles, you know, they out here they using them. They using them at a rapid pace too. Ain't nobody dying from no 9. You know what I'm saying? These all I mean, they are dying from 9s, but you know, in these cases they assault rifles is being used. Mm. We really need to look at these laws. We need to look at background checks a little stronger. It needs to be very tough, I feel, to get licensed to carry to even have an assault rifle. You know, a lot of people gonna disagree. They gun lovers and all that. I get it. A lot of y'all got guns. They never shot them. Mm-hmm. Y'all just got them to have them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people died out there, man. Families died out there, and they didn't deserve that.
Right.
You know, I was talking to a gentleman at work today. He was talking about it, and he said, the only way these gun laws gonna change, Ralph, he said, and it's something off what Dave Chappelle said. He said, if all black people will go out and register to have a gun, then the laws will change.
Yep. And
I never heard it like that, but I also agree with that 100,000%. Mm-hmm. It's crazy out here, man, and something has to happen. Y'all keep voting for people who are pro-gun, but then you giving the same speech I'm giving. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can't have it both ways. You know, we really need to start looking into this stuff and really making a change. And if it takes everybody to sign up just to get a gun,
right?
Because eventually what'll happen is they'll make it hard for you even sign up to get a gun. You know what I'm saying? That something might can happen, but things have to change because it's bad. Like that main thing was crazy, man.
Yeah,
that was crazy,
yeah.
and that could have been a relative of any of us, and nobody woke up to die that day.
Right.
Not that way. You know what I'm saying? So I think we really need to look into that.
And to put that in perspective, America has the most deaths by gun.
Absolutely.
And we have the most people in prison. Just put that's in the world. That ain't Asia, Europe. That's in the world. So just to put that in perspective and to look at, for us, it's almost the norm because we see it, we hear it, all of that thing. But everything he said about the gun laws and why do you need an assault rifle? It's no way a civilian should have access to assault rifles. So yes, definitely it is voting season. This is the most important voting season because you're voting for the people that's going to affect your community. This ain't the general election. This is for the people that you put in seats that are going to help with the things that's going on in your city, in your town, in your neighborhood. This is when you need to go out and vote. So do your homework and go out and vote. This is the most important time. The president and the government, they're going to do what they do. Still do that too as well if you feel that's something that will help going on because some people are so, nah, I'm not voting, it don't help. But this right here, if anything I've learned, the older I've gotten and the more that I'm involved in just wanting to see what's happening in my community and seeing it start one way and go down, it's very important. And you start to realize it and then you want to be involved. Until it touches you, you really don't care. Get out there and vote. Do your thing. Do your due diligence, man. That's all I got, brother.
For y'all that want to go to these high restaurants, if he ain't taking you, one or two things. He ain't hitting it. Well, he don't like you that much.
I'm sick of these lists, man. What's going on?
I thought the man list was weak, though. I thought the man list, they made us look like real soft brothers.
I didn't read now one of them.
I did. I read it. I like Cheesecake Factory. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that.
I ain't read none of them.
And if you with me, you like Cheesecake Factory too.
Of course. The menu is this big. You gonna find something you like. That's just the food menu. Then you get another cheesecake menu that's this big.
You see what I'm saying?
You gonna find something to eat.
We got a Cheesecake Factory probably loving this right now. People showing us the Cheesecake Factory like,
just with the free advertising.
You know what I'm saying? Holla at us next week. Who knows what we might say?
Yeah. I'm working on, when we was talking about disconnect, I'm working on getting one of my younger homeboys in here to talk about the disconnect between the elders and, because now we almost consider elders. Or people that look up to us, the unks and the aunties, So I'm working on that. So we're going to have that conversation coming up in the Soundproof. Y'all just keep hanging out with us, man. We having a good time. We still loving it. We coming up on a big date, too, soon.
Shout out to Rude Intellect. 3 years in the...
Talk to
still
him.
Growing.
Talk to him.
You ain't bought nothing yet. My question is why?
What you waiting for? Get in there, man. Support your brother, Rude Intellect, at rudeintellect.com. Right?
This is the last time we probably talk until Monday, so
yeah,
because I ain't really got nothing to say to you.
I don't know why, man. Y'all gonna be the favorites with it.
I don't care about that, man. You know
but y'all did get beat bad.
That's cool.
Bad.
We might beat somebody bad this week.
I told somebody y'all gonna take it out on us because we look terrible. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. But y'all be easy out there, man. We love y'all. We on all platforms. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Subscribe. Hit the like button. It's free. It helps us. Hit the like button. It's free. We are hot.
I got one last question before we get out of here, just for you. Should a man wear pants like jeans with elastic on the waist, like even cargo pants? Should they be elastic on the waist, or should they have like a zipper?
I didn't know they made them for men.
Yeah, they got like,
unless you was just like obese.
Yeah, but cargo pants with the elastic on the waist.
Nah, you need a belt, bruh. Get you a belt.
All right, man. Let's go. I just had that.
Where do you come up with this stuff, man? Hey, we gonna holler at y'all.
Brian said if he not.
Nah, y'all with the yeah, you're right about it because they gonna lose a belt.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Man, y'all be easy out there, man. We get